start recording. And our first two lines will go to Afifa.
やめるってば、この騎士に会いたい。Stop. I want to meet the snake.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Perfect.
teba for?
Tiba?
Yeah.
This is... So the te part is to you. It's a way that basically to can be slurred as te, and then you can just drop you is basically how it works. Um, and it basically means said. So he says, I have said already, yamero, stop it. Because he did say that. So you use it when you've said something and you're repeating it and you're really annoyed about it. I'm not exactly sure what the ba is. It might just be wa with 10 marks added to show how angry he is, if it was like a Pacific grammar point. But teba is normally like together to show how angry. Because if you said yamero te on its own, doesn't have that like affronted vibe to it. It just means like somebody said yamero kind of idea. Well, the ba is making it very apparent that he is annoyed by it. Yamete ba! He's be saying, I already told you to stop it! Kind of idea. And Grayson, if you're able to talk, the next line will be for you. Let's see. Okay, I think they were talking with somebody. So, Grayson, when you're available, just turn on your microphone. I'm going to write that over here. Grayson. Okay. 会いたくない、ジャックは大騒ぎで叫んだ。So Jack, he yells, making a big ruckus, I don't want to meet him. And the next line will be for you, Afifa.
その時、すぐ近くで何かが聞こえた。At that moment, nearby, they heard a sound.
Exactly. Perfect. And the next two lines will go to Grayson.
ひひ、そう、馬のいななく声だ。二人は驚いて窓の方を振り返った。I think it's just like hee hee, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Hee hee.
Hee, okay. Okay, wait. Uma's the horse. We got that.
はい。
Uma no inana ku koi was the voice. And then the inanaku is the part I'm confused about.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry. It's inanaku must mean snort from the context.
Like the horse snorted?
Yeah,
Or
it's
like
a
the
neigh.
horse's
Yeah,
snort voice is there?
exactly. It's the word for neighing, right? The horse
Ah,
went
okay.
nee. And next line was also for you.
Okay. And then the futari, what? So the two of them, odoroite. I don't remember that verb.
Odoroku is to be shocked, to be bibita.
Odoroku, to be shocked. Okay, and then we have the window. Ho, I think was like the
You know what
position.
furikairu means?
Furikairu. No.
Furikairu is to turn around, specifically to look behind yourself.
Okay.
So where did they look?
Okay, so they like turned around and looked out the window.
Yes, they looked toward the window, in the
Toward the
direction of the
window.
window. Hole is the side that they look. And we are using an O here because they're not looking at the window. They're looking like the window is like the path that their eyes are going through, is why we're using O. Same idea as like flying, right?
Gotcha.
You're flying through the sky, but you're not like flying
Mm-hmm.
to the sky. That's why it's O and not me. 'Cause they're looking at, well, they want to look at the Uma. That would be the knee in that case. Oh, there's a long line. Gambaro, FIFA.
が、はいし、伝統で森を照らすと、その中を立派な鎧を着て、兜をかぶった騎士が黒い馬に乗って歩いてくる。and he illuminated the forest with the torch,
Hi, perfect.
flashlight. And in there, there's a knight. Mm, mm,
There is a knight. What kind of knight is there?
兜をかぶった
Kabuto is helmet, and he kabuttad the kabuto.
He wore a helmet.
Right. It was a knight wearing a helmet. And what else was he doing? Ripana yoroi. Yoroi means armor. Kite.
Oh, like cool armor.
Yeah, he had some nice, elegant armor and a helmet on. And what is this knight doing?
He rode a black horse.
You're right. And is this horse galloping? What is this horse doing?
It's walking.
So it's walking.
Yeah.
Probably Aruku to walk has a different meaning than does in English. So it sounds weird to say the knight was walking on the horse he was riding, but it means like that's like the speed he's going at. Why is there a kudu at the end of the sentence?
Um, I don't know.
Do you know what the verb kudu means normally?
Isn't it like to give? I don't know.
That's kureru.
Kureru.
So kudu,
to come.
you're right, it is to come. Exactly. So this kudu here, to come, is here as the helping verb to say what direction the knight is walking in. So if we have the treehouse right here, and we have the knight on his horse right here, what direction is the horse riding in? Is it going this way in the direction toward the tree, or this way in the direction away from the tree?
It's towards.
You're right. Kudu means it's coming towards the tree, hence why it means come. If instead this said iku, that would mean it's going away from the tree. And if it said iru, that would kind of mean he's walking around the tree. Like just kind of like doing like a little patrol maybe. Would be kind of like that vibe. Next line goes to Grayson.
ジャックは 頭を抱えた。Some noise. More. Um, Jack. Head.
He did do something with head. So he said, "Ah, mole! What do you think you would do with your head after you say that?" Oh my gosh! Oh, we're done
Is he
for.
like shaking his head? Like,
That's a really good guess, but he's holding his head. He's
okay.
like, ah, ah. He's like pulling out his hair. And the next line goes to Afifa.
での騎士だわ。素敵。兄はお喜びた。It's a painting of the night. It's beautiful. Annie said in a big voice, I guess.
Yorokobi means happy. So you said it's a painting of a night. That would be Kishi no e. Kishi no e. A painting of a night. That's because when you say it's a painting of the night, the painting is actually the subject of that clause. Of a night is an adjective describing it. That's the relative clause. So e no keshi, the paint night, does not mean a painting of a night. Do you know what it means?
The night painting. I don't know.
You did the same mistake again. Night's painting, yet again in English, paint is still the head of that clause. But here the head of the clause is kishi. So if you take everything out, that doesn't matter. It just says it's a night. And then we have to describe which night it is. So we don't care about the painting. The paint is there as extra information, hence why it has the no particle, right? It's just describing the night. So you could say it's the night from the painting, it's the painting's night, but you can't say the painting of the night, because that changes the meaning completely in both English and Japanese. Next two lines go to Grayson.
風が、吹き始めた。木の葉がわざわなっている。
ざわざわ。
ざわざわ。昨日と全く同じだ。Okay. The kaze is the wind. The fu, I think I've seen before, but I don't remember what it means.
Fuku?
Yes.
Fuku means to blow.
Okay.
You know what hajimeru means?
To begin. So like the wind began to blow.
Yep.
And then we have, I guess the leaves on the trees are going, zawa zawa.
Exactly.
Like rustling.
It is a rustling sound. Perfect.
Okay. This, I want to say that's a bird, but it has another piece in it.
Are you talking about onaji?
No, I'm talking about the nateiru.
Oh, you're right. This kanji right here, if I delete this, is
Yeah.
bird. You already
Yeah.
translated this sentence. You said the leaves of the tree are making a zawa zawa sound.
Okay.
You're right that just zawa zawa on the own kind of tells you that because it's a sound effect. But natteiru, that is the same bird kanji, and then we added a mouth. What do birds do? Their
Chirp.
mouths? Chirp. Natteiru is basically to make a sound. It's normally used in a way like it actually like made a sound, but it's being used more like whatever here because it's not just used for shark. Everything kind of natteru basically, like old kind of animals and stuff. Um,
Okay.
so I'm not sure why natteru is the verb here because normally things like this I feel like are more like tateru or sta just because natteru. This one, oh, this is the ringing version. What's the one that is the sound that bird makes? Whatever. But yeah, it's making the noise. So that's like that what that verb is.
Okay. Um, I want to say kino is yesterday, if that's the same kino.
Mm-hmm. It is the same kino as yesterday.
Okay. Um, and there's a to, which could mean
There
a number
is.
of
Do
things.
you know what kino is grammarly?
Grammatically, it would be an adverb.
Nope.
Nope.
It's
Of
not
a
an
noun?
adverb. It is a noun.
Okay, okay.
In many sentences, the ni that should
Hmm.
go after it is dropped to be more
Right.
natural sounding, but there is
Uh-huh.
an insinuated ni, which is what's turning it into an adverb. It's just dropped due to like slurring, basically. As
Uh,
like it's kind of how it's thought of. I think. So you're right that quinol can be used as an adverb, but if you're adding a particle to it, it has to be a noun because it's not by default an adverb. If that makes sense. It's a noun that's turned into an adverb by
right.
adding something to it. So if you're adding like to afterwards, it'd have to be like nito. You'd have to like re-add it in, basically. It's kind of like, des versus like desio. If you're adding the
Yeah.
yo at the end, the su gets like red. It's kind of like that type of idea. So by default, it's a noun. So because of that, that makes this toll only really have one real possibility. Do you know what the toll after nouns is?
And
You're right. So we're comparing quinol with something else, but the other thing's not in the sentence.
okay. So like and yesterday or like also yesterday, maybe.
I
Um,
would,
yeah.
you could just ignore this for now. What does
Okay.
mataku onajida mean?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I am not sure.
That's right, got confused. So we have onaji da. Onaji means same. Do you know what da means?
Okay. That's like the that's or it's like it was the same, I guess.
Current tense. So is same.
Yeah.
What is the same? Like
Um,
how would you make this into a complete English sentence? You don't need to like the figure out what the thing is, but what is our, fill-in subject pronoun? What is the same?
this was the same. Like
Sure,
maybe the
sure. This is the same. And then we have mataku. Mataku is an adverb. Any idea what it means?
um uh exactly the same.
You're right. This is exactly the same. Boop. This is exactly the same. So, with the word same, what kind of like word is it? What does sameness mean?
Similarity. It's a
Well,
comparison.
it's a comparison word. Exactly, that was what I was
Yeah.
looking for. Comparison. So, when you're using the word same, there's going to be two items at minimum,
Right.
always. So, we already got the first item, this. The
Yeah.
second item is going to be marked by toe.
Okay. So like the whole thing with the wind blowing and the leaves rustling, that's all the same as it was yesterday.
Exactly. So here we're translating the toe as as. So told the and with is basically like the extra thing in any kind of sentence. So whenever you have a comparison adjective or verb, the to is going to be the as in that context. But I've never really thought about that it's not actually and. It's like kind of weird. Afifa, next line is for you.
出発よ。兄がはしゃいで行った。お兄ちゃん座って。出発 like the exit?
So close. So you're taught that dedu does mean exit, but what's the actual meaning of dedu?
Appear.
To appear. Woo. And then hatsu means like kind of like the come forth is kind of like what the meaning is. Kind of like the start, like to become born, but not like for living things. Like happyo or hatsuon, a lot of weird stuff that it shows up in. But shupatsu is what you say when you're about to leave a location in a way, but it's like we're going there, we're heading off now. But it's not really like to leave. It's like we're about to start our journey type of word. For example, a train will shupatsu from the train station. So you could translate it as leave, I guess. Um, but the idea is that you're on the train and you're going somewhere. Um, cool, probably. So here, they're not on the train. Do you know what they're on? They're they're on the treehouse,
Right.
right? And the treehouse is starting to shake and it's starting to go goo 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 probably probably right over in this line right there. Um, so the treehouse is about the shupatsu. It's about to leave, I guess. I just don't like the word leave. I'm like, I don't want to do it. But it does work good in English. So I guess I shouldn't have corrected you. They're about to appear off in a new world. And Annie, she does that.
She said it.
Yes.
Um,
Hashai means like in good, like she's like really happy. She's like, woohoo, shipata.
mm, a little brother made, or yeah, a brother. Sit
hmm
down.
Perfect. Sit down, brother. Sit down, big brother. And I'm gonna make this whole paragraph go to Grayson.
Okay. 風はますます強くなり、木の枝が激しく揺れる。やがて、ツリーハウスが回転を始め、もすごいす、OK、スピードで回り始めた。
Perfect. Our first verb is naru. 風
なる。
はますます強くなる。
Naru was to become, I think.
Yes. What becomes?
Okay, we have the wind.
What does it become?
I've seen this tsuyo before. I don't remember what it
Chioi is
means.
a very common adjective. Chioi means strong.
Okay.
So the wind became strong. As a brain teaser, why is there a ku here, not an e? Do you know?
That is a special thing for connecting adjectives.
To what?
To other adjectives, I think.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
the to, but for adjectives. But
it's
specifically for the e adjectives. Because it's a different one for the na adjectives.
So an adverb can describe either a verb or an
Uh-huh.
adjective.
Yes.
So you were probably taught this as a way to connect adjectives together, but this is just
Yes.
a way to turn an e adjective into an adverb. So this
Ah.
means Tioku can describe both adjectives and adverbs, as adverbs describe both of those things. There's not really a difference. In Japanese, there's not really a difference between an adjective and a verb. Not adjectives. Not adjectives are like nouns. But
Yeah.
adjectives and verbs grammatically are basically the same. It's just as if there's a do verb, an u verb, an e verb, and then the three irregulars that are thrown in there. It's kind of like how almost everything in Japanese kind of works like, funnily enough. But anyway, you were taught that as a thing, but it's just for marking adverbs. It just so naru isn't an adjective, it's a verb, but we're describing it with chioku. So to become strong, the wind does, and it does it in
Yeah.
a mas kind of way. How do you think that's like a fast or a slow, or like what kind of like mas it? Because our actual adverb.
Masa to me, masa masa sounds slow, but I'm not sure if that's right.
Yeah, it's kind of just like more and more. I don't know if it's like fast or slow.
Okay.
It's kind of, but like dan would feel
Yeah.
more like weird. Masu feels like more like this kind of incline. Well,
Yeah.
dan would be more like that. So the masu, I would say, yeah, it's probably a little bit of a slower incline than some uh things. So next is the verb yureru.
I do not know that one.
That is to shake. What shakes?
Well, we have the tree, but then we have the tree's eda,
Yes.
which it looks like a tree ground friend. I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing the branches,
It is the
maybe.
branches. Yes. Perfect. Good job. So the tree branches are shaking in a hagishiku kind of way. Do you have any idea why there's a ku at the end of hagishiku?
Is that the same
It
thing
is
here
the
as to make
same.
it an adverb?
It's the exact same thing. This used to be hagishi. Exact same thing. And but then we have the verb again. Hageshi means like rough or aggressive or something like that. So the shaking isn't like bit 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 bit. It's like is what's going on here. So basically the wind got stronger and stronger and then the branches start to shiver very aggressively. And then
Okay.
finally something hajimeru.
Okay. So something begins.
To kaiten.
Okay, we have the tree house. Okay, wait, I don't know Kai, but ten is yeah, that's like a movement, like a spinning.
Yes, you're all done.
What is
And
the Kai exactly?
uh circle.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, it's circle, but it can also mean like the amount of times you've completely done a loop kind of idea. So it can be used to mean times. But here it's just referring to the circle, right? So we're moving in a circle. So this is to turn or to
Okay.
spin in a circle. So the treehouse, right, is going around and around and around and around and around, doing like, a Wizard of Oz in the Tornistu. So next is um Hajimeta.
Um, okay, so it's began.
You're right, it began to mawaru.
Hi.
I would guess.
Okay, it began to spin again?
You're right, it began to spin. And it began to spin. In what kind of way did it slowly spin? ものすごい
Uh,
スピードで.
the big speed.
Big speed, exactly. Perfect. And the next two lines will go to Afifa.
突然、何も、何、何もかもが止まって、静かになった。何も聞こえない。Suddenly, everything and nothing
Mm-hmm.
stopped, and everything became quiet, or it became quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear anything.
Perfect. That's exactly what it is. So here now we have a ni instead of a ku. Out of just a brain teaser, why, Afifa, do we have a ni here? Why is it shizuka ni?
Uh,
So in Japanese, there's three, well, theoretically four adverb markers. There's ni, ku, to, and theoretically te. Because theoretically te form is a type of adverb if you're getting deep into grammar. But we don't really think about it as that. But ni, ku, and to are all ways we can conjugate a word that is not an adverb to turn it into a verb word. So masu masu is a adverb by default, right? This is just in the dictionary. You're an adverb. Done. Don't gotta do anything else. To some extent, masu masu could also be like a sound effect, but it's kind of not at the same time. But same with like totozen, whatever. These are just an adverb. Don't need to worry about it. And then there's the ones that we add either ni, ku, or to it. To is added to sounds because Japanese allows like onomatopoeias to be adverbs and stuff. And ku is what we do for adjectives. And ni is what we do for nouns. That's where we turn a noun into a adverb. So if you said she was motherly petting me. Sounds weird. She was motheringly cooking food. That's a better sentence. We in English we add ly to nouns, but here we're taking it from motherly, right? So here we took shizuka, quiet, which is a noun, specifically a non-adjective noun, and we're adding ni to it. So it's that same kind of idea. Next line goes to Grayson.
ジャックは外目を開けた。So we have Jack opened his eyes.
Yes. And he opens his eyes in a soto kind of way, which is basically like softly, or like he doesn't go like wow bam open his eyes, right? He kind of goes is it done yet? You know, doesn't it's like a slow eye opening. Next line goes to Afifa.
空気が冷たくて、湿っぱい。The air became cold. 湿っぽい。
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just like cold again. I think let's see, Shime boy might be more muggy. It says damp and humid, gloomy. Senaka ga zoku suru, and it says like his back is like tingling for some reason. What is this? Zoku. Oh, he's shivering. Yeah, that makes sense if he's tingling. Your back tingling is the same as your back is shivering, right? Next line goes to Grayson.
Hihi. That's what they said before.
Yep.
窓の下からまた馬のいいな気が聞こえた。 I think the hishin was maybe like surprise.
No.
No? Okay. What did it mean?
Inaku. Sorry, inanaku.
Wait, hang on. Um, Inanaku.
Mm-hmm. Saw
Wait,
that last time he
the neigh.
You're right, it neighed. Hee is the sound of a horse neighing.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there was a neigh. The below the window. So I'm assuming like outside the window, down below.
Mm-hmm.
Or from down below, outside the window. There was a horse neighed.
Perfect. And out of curiosity, as a brain teaser, why did inanaku turn into inanaki?
Uh-huh. Um, okay, so I think that so the ku would be the normal like verb form, I
You're
guess.
right.
I'm guessing because there's a ga there,
You're
maybe the
right.
key makes it like a noun.
Yes. If
Oh,
you
okay.
add an e to the end of an
Hmm.
u verb, that turns it into a noun.
Okay.
And if you drop the do of an u verb, of a do verb, you minus that u, that turns it into a noun. So, taberu, verb tabe, noun. So, inanaku, verb inanaki, noun. So you'll see this conjugation a lot. This is in Genki called stem form. It has like a
Hmm.
different name in other stuff. Sometimes they'll call it root form, but it's not actually linguistically the root form of something, as root form is actually Inana is the actual root form of the word. Um, but you can't really write just K. That'd be weird. So sometimes it's taught as that. 'Cause it's kind of like the take all the verbiness out. Anyway, that was good. Next line goes to Afifa.
データは兄が後ろの本のまま持ったままうさうさしていた。
Uki uki.
ウキウキしていた。We've arrived. Annie. What's uki uki?
Uki uki. It's like cheerful.
She said that while carrying the 後ろの本,
Hmm.
the book of the castle. Wait,
Yeah,
no. Yeah,
the castle book. The,
the castle book.
the castle book. The book about a castle. So when you're using like the of slash about relative clauses in English, the first word is most important, which is very confusing. 'Cause Japanese is nice because they just keep it nice and uniform. The most important thing is always right at the end attached to the adverb. Sorry, the particle. That's always the most important information. You always go particle, most important. English, it's all over the place. I don't know how you find anything. Next line goes to Grayson.
窓の外を見ると、霧の中に大きなお城が浮かび上がっている。
Hi.
Um,
So ukabiagaru is a pretty hard word. Um, ukabu is to float, and agaru is up. But it doesn't literally mean something is floating upwards, right? It's not talking about a balloon. Instead, this tends to have an idea used where there's like a darkness type of idea going on. But then you can slightly see something kind of emerging out of the darkness, either because it's getting closer to you or you're getting closer to it. But in any case, something within a hard to see area is catching a little bit more light than the things around it, and thus it's emerging from the darkness or whatever. So here it's emerging from the kiri. Do you know what kiri is?
Oh, okay. That is, I can understand about. Okay, we
Have
have the
you
rain.
ever
We
seen
have
Naruto? Yeah, right.
no,
You know
no, I
Naruto?
haven't. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But wait, hang on. There's the rain. There's power. There's I think a friend, and then there's maybe something about learning.
not learning. I can see why you'd. But yeah, that's the power. What does that even mean? This is fog.
Ah, okay. I felt like it had to be weather related with the
It
rain.
was weather related. So so the fog is acting as our darkness, right? It's basically making it very hard to see in front of your eyes. But as you get
Mhm.
closer to things, right, everything around you is still going to be that fog, but the things you get closer to will kind of emerge out of that fog. So that's what ukabiagaru means. So basically it just means you can see it, but that sounds really boring. So what is emerging out of the fog?
Okay. We have outside of the window, I think we can see something.
You're right. When I
Emerging out of
look outside of the window,
yeah. And there's emerging out of the fog. There's a big um shiro
oshiro.
or shiro.
Just like the oshiro no hon that Annie's carrying around.
Um Forgot
Shiro
that
means
one.
castle.
Ah, okay.
So there's a big old castle off in the distance, and then we can kind of see it out of the fog, you know. But it's not literally floating up anywhere. Next line goes to Afifa.
ツリーハウスの下を黒い馬に乗ったあの騎士が通り過ぎていく。うん
Okay, so part of this sentence has a clause that we should just totally ignore. Where do you know what we should ignore for this for now? What's the most useless information of this sentence?
The first part, like,
Treehouse no shita is actually
yeah.
very important. The most useless information here is kuroi uma ni notta. And I guess ano. We can just fully delete this. Treehouse no shita o kishi ga torisugite iku. That's our
Mm,
sentence. And as a
the,
reminder, Japanese doesn't have a sentence structure rule other than the verb goes at the end. That's why it's a particle-based language.
uh, the below the tree, no, the night, 通り過ぎ goes too far away below the treehouse.
So it means to go past.
Uh,
But since he's going past the treehouse ain't his destination. Hence why we use O for that location, because he's going past it. He was before the treehouse, and now he's after the treehouse. Hence why no ni but O. So he goes past the treehouse. Which knight goes past the treehouse?
that night,
That knight. Do you have any other information about this knight?
the night that's riding the black horse.
You're right, the knight riding a black horse. Perfect. So why do we have a comma here? You translate this all correctly. Now we're doing the brain taser part.
And chaser parts are
The commas are here to make this sentence easier to read, as the kuroi uma ni notta is unrelated to the shita over here. These have nothing in common with each other. So we have the comma here to say, oh yeah, this whole section here is its own thing, and the ta tells us this is a relative clause. That's a relative clause marker. And that we're describing like, and relative clauses describe the first noun it touches. So the comma here says skipped ano, go to kishi. First real noun. So that's why you see the two commas here. We're adding at the top. Just skip it. Kind of goes like that. So this one right here doesn't need to be here, but this one kind of does. So the first one is there just to be really nice to you. The second one is there because this is kind of more of a default grammar. Like this also doesn't need to be here, but it makes it, because theoretically, that could be what's being described with the relative clause. Because as I said, it describes the first noun it touches, and ano theoretically is a noun. If you're getting like grammatically what it is, it's not used as a noun ever, but like grammatical function it is. Next line goes to Grayson.
ジャックが、I believe this is Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
州の本を掴んでいた。So, let's see. The Pennsylvania woods. Wait. The book about the Pennsylvania woods. Tsukande. Ita was like to say.
You're right, he said something. It's the next line. Japanese doesn't follow the same orders as English for stuff.
What's the tsukande?
Tsukama is to grab something. Specifically, it is to close your hands around an object. So grabbing in English has a little bit more of an insinuation that you take the object and you bring it to the center of your body, like a grabbing motion. But tsukamu just means to close your hands around the object. But he probably brought it toward his chest as well. But it's just like it's like how tatsu, right, to stand in Japanese doesn't necessarily mean standing still, which it does mean in English. If someone's standing, you go, oh, they're not walking. But in Japanese, if someone's standing, they could be walking because it just means to actually be on your feet, right? So it's that same kind of idea. So yeah, so he grabbed the book, or he closed his hands around the book about Pennsylvania. And then Afifa, what is it that Jack said?
Anyway, 一度 let's go home first.
Mm-hmm.
And after we go home, let's think this.
He says, let's do something after we'd what?
After we return,
Exactly, and kangairu.
think.
So, right, it says, anyway, we should go home right now and think for a bit, do a good thinking after we're home before we do something. Next line goes to Grayson.
ジャックはしおりがは挟また
You're never going to see ga plus wa, because wa can replace ga, because wa, the topic marker, replaces ga. So that's not really possible. If this was like a ni, it could be ni wa, because ni and wa can marry each other. Ga and wa do not want to, they like eat, wa eats ga, and wa also eats o. So you will never see o wa, and you'll never see ga wa.
Gotcha. Okay, so hasa mata peji o hiraki flag creek no shashin ni yubi o no seta.
はい。
So Jack, what was this? Yuriga. Not sure about that part, but there's the page. Probably he opens the book, he turns the page.
He opens the
With
book. So,
yeah.
so what confuses you is how relative clauses work.
Yeah. I think
So
the other thing that confuses me,
well, just from how
yeah,
you translate it, I'm not even like touching on like the not knowing the verb. You're a little confused how relative clauses work in the first place. So a relative clause
yeah.
is a sentence that describes a noun,
Uh-huh.
is what it is. It has nothing to do with anything else in the sentence. It's only focusing on that head noun. So here, page is the head noun. This clause right here has nothing to do with anything else in this book. This is just extra information. So Jack has nothing to do with this, but you made an assumption like, okay, he opens the page and does something with the book, right? Being like a assumption that this relative clause has to do with Jack, but it doesn't have to do with Jack. It only has to do with the page. The page. So the page has something hasamatar, which is a shiori. Shiori is a really common word in this book. Do you remember what a shiori was?
Oh, that's a bookmark.
It's bookmark. So he opens the page. Which page? The page with the bookmark. Hasamaru means like to be in between. So because it's theoretically it's pages, because pluralization is not specified in Japanese. So there's a bookmark in between two pages. He opens up to those pages where the bookmark is. Um, and then Jack, he nosetas.
Um, what there's the picture and the finger I see before this.
That's correct,
Just
but
making
you
me
have
think that
so in English, the way how a sentence work is that it's subject, verb, object, SVO. So when you're
Mhm.
translating into English, you can't actually do SOV. So
Mhm.
sedu is the verb of the sentence, and we already know the subject is Jack. So it says Jack is no seduing the object, which is yubi, onto a shashin of furagu kripku, right? It goes backwards. So whether or not you know these isn't super relevant whether or not you know the verb for translating. Though if you know all the words and you don't know the verb, sometimes you can guess the verb by context, which is always a good thing to practice as well. But uh, it's just like the sentence structure kind of thing.
But he's pointing to the picture,
Yeah,
isn't he? Yeah.
yep. No seru is to place on. So to point,
Mhm.
which is be yubisasu, would insinuate he's not touching the book.
Yeah.
Well, the no seru is letting us know he's absolutely touching that book, right? So that's the difference between these two pointing. Um,
Okay.
so he placed his finger on the picture of Frog Creek after he
Mhm.
opened up to where the book had the shiori. So it's this rather than that. Frog Creek ni iya yo. So he says so to Frog Creek. He says I hate that. And the next line goes to Afifa.
兄は素早くジャックの手からペンシルベニア州の本を取り上げた。
Hi. So if I was
うん
deleting extra information, that would be that. But this is all pretty information. But it says, Annie, what? Whole no, toriageta.
に、取り上げる to
Hmm.
give.
Good guess. Ageru is the up. So the take up mean well Tori can't really take Ageru, that'd be weird in the first place. But like to give Ageru, which is theoretically possible. But Tori Ageru means like to take.
She took a book.
Which book did she take?
The
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania State
Yeah.
book. from Jack's hand.
Hmm. And she does it in a...
Subayaku.
Exactly. What does Subayaku mean?
I don't know.
Do you know what why is there a ku at the end?
It's like describing the way she took it.
You're right, it's describing the way she took it. Yep, this used to be an e adjective, and now it's an adverb describing how she toriageru'd. Subayaku means swift. Well, subayai. So swiftly. And he swiftly grabbed the book out of Jack's hands. So rude. And the next line goes to Grayson.
せっかく来たんだから、この時代を見てからにして、私、お城の中を見てみたいわ。Okay.
せっかく来たんだから。
hmm I've definitely heard Takara before. It feels
Hmm.
like,
This is kara after a sentence, which dakara sometimes is taught as its own thing to separate from kara,
yeah.
which can be after a noun, but the da isn't actually a part of kara. It's just da is how the sentence ended. It's sekaku kitanda kara. But it just makes it easier for people to remember the difference between kara after a noun or kara after a verb if they separate it as dakara. So because it's going to become either dakara or takara,
hmm
right? It's going to be always after a verb, rukara. Yeah, so do you know what kara after a verb is?
Uh, there's a kata that means from, and there's a kata that means because.
Yes, those are the two karas.
And I think after the verb, it's probably because.
It is because after a verb. Perfect. So because we kita.
Um, that's to come.
Yep, because we came in a sekaku kind of way. Sekai, weirdly enough, isn't really a word, even though it ends with a ku. This is like a real adverb, but sekaku means to come all the way out of your way to do something. She says, since we're already here, is how we would say that in English, but it doesn't actually mean already. It just means like, I guess it is like already, but it's like very specifically the already, and it's all since we're already here. It's like
Yeah.
since, since already is kind of what it means. And then we have nda, which doesn't really get a translation in English. It's there to sound human. 近く来たんだから、この時代を見る。
Um, let's look at this time period.
Perfect. That's exactly what it is. The rest of this here, it's kind of like meh. We have kata, which is the from kata, basically, which means like, let's do it after we look, is what it says.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like it's just like this is harder grammar. So like to do, what to do after looking. Um, it's just like I feel like it's just a lot of grammar on top of each other. And then the next line will also be, what is it?
I think I know this one. I think it is I want to see the inside of the castle.
Yes, perfect. And the next line goes to Afifa.
だけど、この時代のことを何も知らないんだ。However, I don't know anything about this period.
Perfect. And the next line will also be for you, Afifa.
入って、まず本をよく調べてからにしよう。Let's first return home and then research about the book.
Perfect. research more like probably in the book.